Next, let us learn about the while loop. Let us create a class. So we have a class called example while. Let us have some integer x equal to minus 10. The while syntax goes something like this. While x is less than or equal to 0, curly braces, print x. So here you have integer x equal to minus 10. While x is less than or equal to 0, well, minus 10 is less than or equal to 0, print x and then increment the value of x. We can increment the value of x by saying x plus plus, which is nothing but x equal to x plus 1. Now let us run this, save. So if you look at the result, x started at minus 10 and then is minus 10 less than or equal to 0? Yes, it is less than or equal to 0. So print out x equal to minus 10. Then it will come and increment the value of x by 1. So minus 10 plus 1 is equal to minus 9. So is minus 9. It will go back here. Is minus 9 less than 0? Yes, it is. It will print out x equal to minus 9. So it keeps printing out till x reaches the value of 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 0? Yes, it is equal to 0, so it will print out 0. But 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. 1 is not less than 0, so it will come out of the loop. So this is what we call a while loop. Now there are different ways to increment the value of x. You can either say x plus plus as you have written here, or let me comment this and type x equal to x plus 1. This is another way of incrementing the value of x. This will also work the same. Let us save and run this. You can see that there is no difference. And there is another way of writing this too. When you have something like x equal to x plus 1, you can also write it like this, x plus equal to 1. So this means x equal to x plus 1. Let us run this. So you can see it's the same answer. So different styles of writing it. So just remember, plus equal to means x equal to x plus. Let us change this number to 2. This means x equal to x plus 2. So here you are incrementing the value of x by 2. So you will get printouts like minus 10, minus 8 and minus 6. You may be wondering, is there any other symbol like this? So here you can see that you can either use plus equal to, which says x equal to x plus whatever number. It is called an addition assignment. You can also do minus equal to, or multiplication equal to, or division equal to, and mod equal to. Next, let us learn about the do while statement. Let us create a class called example do while. Let us declare some integer x equal to 10. The do while syntax goes something like this. Do curly brace, and then your while statement comes here. While, let's say x greater than 0, and then a semicolon here. And inside these curly braces, I want to print out x, and I will reduce the value of x. So let us run this and see how this works. So here you can notice when I run this, it starts printing out x equal to 10, that is x equal to 10, do, and then it will come in here and it will print out x equal to 10. X minus minus will reduce the value of 10 by 1, that is 9. It will check, is 9 greater than 0? Yes, 9 is greater than 0, so it will come back to the loop and it will print out x equal to 9, and then it will come here, reduce the value of 9 by 1. It will come and check if 8 is greater than 0. Yes, it will go back here and print out 8, so on and so forth. So it will print till x equal to 1, and then x minus minus of 1 is 0. Is 0 greater than 0? No, it will come out of the loop. So this do while is very similar to the while loop. Do not forget to put the semicolon right here. So what is the difference between while loop and do while loop? Well, for a while loop, you can see that it first checks for the condition. It checks if x is less than or equal to 0, and then it goes and prints it. Whereas for do while, it will first print the statement, it will do all the work, and then it will check for the condition. So the main difference is the do while statement will run at least once. For example, if x is equal to minus 10 here, even though minus 10 is not greater than 0, this statement will still run. It will still print out x and it will minus x by 1. So when I run this, you can see that I have x equal to minus 10 printed out. So even if this while condition is false. Whereas for a while statement, if I make this 10, it will not print this even once. You can see that, well, 10 is not less than 0, so it will not print here. So do while statement executes the block of code at least once. Next, let us learn about and or statements. Let us create a class called example and or. Imagine I have two numbers, integer x, integer y. I can declare two variables like this, and then I can assign numbers to x equal to 10. Now imagine I want to check if both these numbers are positive numbers, that is x and y are positive numbers. The way to do it is if x greater than 0 and y greater than 0, curly brace and close curly brace. So the way you read it is x greater than 0, if x greater than 0, and these two ampersand sign is referred to as and. If x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0, then print both numbers are positive. Else, if check if at least one of them is positive number, that is if x is greater than 0 or y is greater than 0. The way to write it is, the or symbol is the two pipe symbol. You can find this pipe symbol right above your enter key. You have to press the shift and the key above your enter key. So you read this as else if x is greater than 0 or y is greater than 0. At least one number is positive. Else, well, I don't have to check if both of them are not greater than 0 and at least one of them is not greater than 0. That means both must be less than 0. That is, both numbers are negative. So let's save it, Control S and run it. Right click, run as Java application. So here you can see that at least one num is positive is printed because x is 10 and it is a positive number. So this is the and or statement. Now this will work even if you have like a single ampersand and a single pipe symbol. This will work the same. So what is the difference between this single ampersand and double ampersand is, this double ampersand is called a shorthand. Now what is a shorthand is, imagine I have x as minus 10 and y as positive 10. Now it will come here and will check if x is greater than 0. Well, is x greater than 0? No, it is not greater than 0. So what happens is this, if this condition fails, a shorthand will not even bother to look at the other condition because both the condition must be true for and to work. And is this x must be greater than 0 and y must be greater than 0. But if you have like two ampersand sign, it will know that it is useless to go look here at this particular condition here. The reason is, well, x fails, so it doesn't matter if y is positive or not. If you have like one ampersand symbol, what happens is it will check if x greater than 0. Well, no, it is not greater than 0, but even then it will go and check if y is greater than 0. You may be wondering then why use the single ampersand at all? Well, the single ampersand is used for bit operations, which I think you can read up on your own at a later stage. Next, let us take a look at the switch case statement. So let us create a new class. So imagine I have a variable like j equal to 2. the switch case statement is written like this. Switch within parenthesis j, curly braces, close curly braces. Then you create various cases like this. Case 0 colon system.out.println value is 0, and then say break. Create another case. So here you can see that I have created various cases. Like I have a int j equal to 2, and then I have a switch j, and then I have like case 0 which will print out value is 0, and then there is a break, case 1 value is 1, and so on. And then at the end I have something called as default, and it prints out no value, and then break. And then I close the particular curly braces over here. This curly braces, I close it here. Now let us save and run this. So when you run this, you get the value as 2. Value is 2 is printed. So you can see how the switch case works. When the compiler reaches this particular point like switch j, then it will look for a case which matches the value 2. So since this particular case matches the value 2, it will execute all the code in this particular block of code before the break is hit. And then it will reach this break and it will come out of this particular switch statement. If you do not have this break statement, then what will happen is it will fall down to case 3 and it will print out value is 3 also. So it will print out value is 2 and value is 3. I can save and run this, right? Run as. So here you can see that if I run this now, value is 2 is printed and then value is 3 is printed because I had removed the break statement. Now suppose there is some value like say 5 and we don't have any of the matching cases. In this case I have no case 5, so in those cases the default case will be executed, that is no value will be printed. Since Java 7, you can also use strings in switch case statement. Before Java 7 you cannot use string. String is used to hold any kind of a text. So let us modify this to use strings. String j holds a text as 2. So now let us say case 0, 1, 2. And you can see that I have also changed all the cases to like strings. Now if I run this, you can see that value is 2 is printed. So you can also use string in these switch case statements.